Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex here in the Subterranean facility. Soon we won't be completely subterranean, but we still are mostly. After the last episode, I took a little time to dig up and to the right so I could see what was behind those doors, and this is what I found. There's a monument. There's some furniture. There's some electronic displays. A desk. If you click on all these things, you can inspect. And you can see what the displays say. Alright, nothing much there. Some of them are kind of interesting to read. Let's see. Yeah, this one talks about the printing pod. I don't know, there's a little bit of game lore there, I guess, if you feel like exploring it. It's all vacuum over here. There's nothing that I can see besides just the furniture and stuff sitting around, but it's a vacuum in here. Now, one thing I did want to point out, you can see that there's a wall here, right? There's drywall and windows. Once you get into space, you can build tiles. Where would I find those? Utilities, maybe? Yeah, you can build drywall. And basically what that allows you to do is it'll allow you to build rooms in the parts of the base that are exposed to space. You know, so like if you were to do something like this, for example, with drywall, and then you put some tiles there and a door, you could then put gases inside that room and they wouldn't escape to space, right? So you do have the ability to build rooms in the space portion that are not exposed to the vacuum, in case you wanted to do that. I'm not sure if I'll need to do that, but it is a possibility. Now, once I dug up here, since this is vacuum, it started to empty the gas, you know, from this part of the base on this side of my liquid seal. So you can see that we're down to, you know, grams of gas here, and eventually this will all be vacuum as well. And that in itself can be useful in case you wanted to create a room that's a vacuum. You know, you could build it close to the surface, expose part of it to space, and just wait for all the gas to come out. It's probably a lot easier than trying to pump everything out with a gas pump. It's not very fast, though. You know, you see in the movies, you get a little pinhole in the spaceship, and half of the contents of the spaceship get sucked out immediately. In the game, apparently it's not quite that fast. But like I said, eventually this will become vacuum. So I just wanted to show you that. Another neat trick I found out. Look at this. You can assign camera locations, right? If you press H, you'll come to your original starting position with your printing pod in the center of the screen. I have 253 tons of sand. Do I want 3 more? Why not? Right, so that's if you press H. And then you can go to any other part of the screen that you focus on frequently. What would be one for us? Well, for example, my manufacturing location. I was on this view, and then I hit Control 2, and that assigns this view to the second view slot. So Control 2 would assign it, and then if I hit Shift 2 after that, it'll come back to here. So for me, Shift 1 is this spot up here. Again, since I know we're going to be doing a lot of work up here soon, now I can quickly jump to this location, and then if I hit Shift 2 again, I go back there. If I hit H, I go back to the center of the base. So, alert, surface breach. Okay. Yeah, I know that. Was that alert there for a long time? I'm not sure. Okay. So anyway, that's a neat feature. So coming back down here, what I'd like to do next is to start making glass. Because one of the advantages of being in space is that you can make solar panels to get power from sunlight, but you need glass to make them. 200 kilograms for each solar panel. So I want to start making some glass. And also, if we decide to build the monument at some point, we'll need glass for the head. But I don't think I'm going to do the monument right now. I did the monument in a private game that I've been playing. And essentially all that it does is, it's a building task. You just have to accumulate a lot of materials to build it. Besides the glass, we already have everything you need. So to do the monument at this point would be kind of simple, and it's essentially just waiting for your machines to make stuff. Which I think is not super exciting. The monument itself is pretty cool, so maybe we'll do it at some point. But I'd rather focus on getting out into space, since that's something I haven't done before. So what we will do is we're going to build a glass forge, okay, which looks like this. And this creates liquid glass, which you then can submerge into water to cool it down. Now glass itself, let me see. It comes out at, let's see. I can't remember what temperature it comes out at. Let's check. Let's see, liquid glass. Okay. I think it comes out of the machine at something around 1300 C. And it'll become solid at 1100 C. So what we want to do is put it into water, give it an opportunity to cool down, and then take it out. So that's going to involve some automation. And I think what I'll do is I will use this area here that I was talking about last time. I'll use this for a cooling chamber, and we'll put another steam turbine above it. So we'll use this as a way to cool the glass down, at least to, somewhere around 100 degrees or so. And then we'll take the heat, we'll turn the water to steam and use a steam engine to get rid of the heat. But I think rather than break this seal here, I'll just make it in its own separate area. Okay, so I'm going to want to break this open. So let's deconstruct at least one tile to get started. And we'll put in our liquid vent. I have more iron ore than anything else, so I'll just make it out of iron. Okay, and then we're going to put... Could I put this right above the vent? Well, the first thing I need to do is get rid of some of this stuff, right? Oh, no. I think I can put it right above the vent, can I? Or would that block? Let's wait for this to be built. I'm not sure if this would block the input or not. I'm assuming that it would. But maybe once it's there, we'll get a tool tip or something that'll tell us. So another tip, if you click on an object and you press B, then it'll automatically select to build another one like it. Yeah, it's not telling me anything about blocked inputs. I think I'll put it next to it because I don't want to have to build it twice. Okay, so we got this here. Actually, I wonder if this is going to be enough room, because what I want to do is I want to use an auto sweeper to manage the material inside here. And that might block it. I might need to go up one tile. Because what I'm thinking is we put an auto sweeper, which we would make out of steel. Okay. So the glass comes in here, it cools down, and I'm thinking that we put... The thing is, I don't want to pick it up right away. I want to give it a chance to cool down. So what I'd like to do is have an automation signal that tells me when it drops in, and then introduces a delay before my auto sweeper picks it up. And I think we can do that by using a weight plate. Okay, I think I can use the weight plate to replace a tile. Let me just see what I've got running under there. Okay, good. That's an empty tile, so it won't hurt anything for me to delete that. So let's deconstruct that. And then there is an automation item. What's it called? The filter gate. Okay, and that's what we can use to cause a delay. Okay, let's go, guys. You know what? I turned the music off. Let's get some music on. Okay, so we'll take this tile out and put that there. I'm going to build the steam engine, because I just want to see if either of these devices are going to block the steam engine. Then I'd rather know that now so that I can design it differently. I might need to move this up a tile. So let's see what happens. Once it gets built, then it should tell me if any of the inputs are blocked. And if it's got blocked inputs, then I know that I need to give it more room. And fortunately, I have space here, so we could raise it up by another tile so that I have room for a layer of water and for the materials to drop and everything like that. Don't know what my dupes are so busy doing that they can't come and build this thing for me. Alright, let's try priority 7. Maybe that'll spur some action. Come on, guys. Where did that water come from? That's interesting. it's from when I was building this. Oh, okay. This requires my builder person who is... Nobody? It's Dolly. Alright, so where's Dolly? Priority 9. How about that? Will that work? All right. There we go. Dolly building. Whoops. Where is he? Looks like he's getting ready for bed. Jeez. Take your time, pal. Okay. So for Dolly, I'm going to put building as a top priority, since he's the only one that can do certain jobs. And priority 9 doesn't seem to be enough motivation. Well, maybe I need to restart the game or something, because I don't get this. They're just completely ignoring this stuff. Now this one, yeah, like even the deconstruction, I don't understand why they're not doing this. Okay, here he comes. Delivering eggshells. That's great. This machine is priority 5. Okay, I'll be back. Okay. So I think that invalid build location was preventing it being built at all. So it was either the lack of a tile here or maybe the vent. Well, it was the lack of a tile. All right. Now this one is still not being built or deconstructed. I think it's in an unreachable location, even though it's not telling me that. So let's end the yellow alert. And let's try building a couple ladders here and see if somebody does something then. still a lot to learn about this game. Okay. Nope, he's coming with eggshells. That's all he cares about. I hope I don't have to wait another couple cycles. There we go. Alright. That wasn't so hard, was it? Alright. So let's put this weight plate. I think I better make that out of steel. I don't know what its overheat temperature is by default, but let's not take any chances. Okay. So then we will put a... Let's see, I need a way to get in here, so... let's take out... Again, I just want to check and see if anything else runs through there. Okay, so let's take out another tile and put in a ladder so I can get in there. Okay, so there's my weight plate. And then I want that filter gate. Which I'll put right there. Yeah, we'll make that out of steel too. Automation wire will go to there, and then from there to there. Okay, and this doesn't say anything about outputs being blocked yet. Alright, so let's run the pipe for this guy. I think the lead was for my automation wires. That should be okay. Automation wires have a really high temperature. Melting point 327 degrees. It could... No, it's not going to get that hot. Okay, good. So it doesn't say anything about output being blocked, so this... The auto sweeper should be in a good spot. Okay, so filter gate is currently set to 5 seconds. Let's make that 10 seconds. Okay, so when something falls on it, it should wait 10 seconds and then send the green signal, and then that'll pick it up. And we'll have to see what the cycle time is of the glass maker. Oh, you know what? This vent, I have to move the vent. This is where I want the glass to fall. So I'm going to have to relocate this. That should be a... Well, no. Hang on. Leave the vent. I still need the vent. Let's check the melt point of this. 1534. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, so I need to put my ladder, deconstruct. All right, I need to put my my glass forge down here. And I wonder if I can flip it. No, I can't. The liquid comes out on the right side of it. I would prefer for it to be as close to that vent as possible. What do I have in here? Steel? okay. That's where I'm storing my refined metals. And what do I have in here? Same? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna deconstruct this one so I can move the glass over even a little bit more. Okay. So let's put the glass forge. Well, okay. That's as close as I can get it. That'll have to do. Okay, and then I'm going to use insulated pipe, and I'm going to make it out of wolframite. Or I think I can do obsidian. Oh, this... Okay. No, that's okay. I need to bridge this pipe. That's my water pipe coming from my cooling system. Yeah, so I'm going to make the pipe out of obsidian because it has a high melting point. Here we go. Plumbing. So I'm going to do insulated pipe, obsidian. Yeah, and I want it to be insulated the whole way because I don't want... Because it comes out... Like I said, it comes out around 1300 C, and it turns into glass around 1100 something. So that's why we want a really short pipe, and we have to keep it hot because we don't want it solidifying inside the pipe. That would be bad news. Okay, so we can see now. Pardon me. Yeah, this has a melting point of 26.9 C when you make it out of obsidian. And if you need really high temperatures for something with refined metal, or from metal, because obsidian is a mineral, right? You can use wolframite. That has a really high melting point too. Okay, so I need some heavy watt wire. Again, I'll just make that out of iron ore. And I'm just using the heavy watt wire because that's... Oh, no, I can't use that because it can't go through walls. Okay, so I'll have to use conductive wire. And I'll make it out of iron. And we can draw that from here. Okay, and let's check what our range is. So then I'll put my conveyor pickup thingy right there. The conveyor loader is what it's called. And let's put it that way. It probably doesn't matter. But anyway, we'll make, I don't know, I'll put it this way, that way we can keep this chamber smaller. And we'll make that out of steel as well. I'm not sure where the electricity goes. Okay, that's exactly the wrong way. Let's cancel that. And we'll build it upside down. Like that. Okay, now where do I want to drop it off? Now hopefully this should be cooled down to a couple hundred degrees at this point. And then maybe what we could do, maybe I could just run the conveyor line straight up here and just dump it into the polluted water, because we got a big tank of water here and that'll help cool it down even further. It will heat up my polluted water. But I think I don't care too much about that, because I'm really not using that for anything except turning into oxygen. So as long as it stays less than 70 degrees, I'm fine. And it should be coming out of here, you know, around 100 or so. Yes, I'll just use iron ore for that. I guess I'll bring it all the way to the top, just in case. Okay, and then we set the filter on here to glass. Where do we find glass? Miscellaneous? No. I thought it was a manufactured material. Maybe I can't select it because I haven't made any yet. That could be. Okay. And then I'll put a little storage bin for sand right here. Okay, so let's sweep this out. And then we'll, you know what, let's mop this up so that I can do that polluted water trick. I'm going to leave this tile open. I'll leave this tile open so that I can let gases escape as I put fluids in. And I'm gonna open that tile too. And then we'll put in a pitcher pump, or a bottle emptier, right there. Okay, let's sweep up that water. Let's give all that a 9. So we can get that out of there. Almost empty. I can't seal this up until they get everything out. There we go. Alright, now I can seal it, and I hope they do the work from the right side and not the left side. Or up there, that's fine too. There we go. Okay. So let's put in a little bit of polluted water. Okay. All right. We're going to need more than that. We need to form a complete layer. Otherwise this little trick doesn't work. Okay, there we go. Okay, and now we switch it over to water. And then the next layer, it'll form a second layer of water underneath it. Or on top of it, rather. Okay, looks like we'll need a little bit more. But you can see how just that little bit of those two liquids now almost completely filled this entire cavity. There we go. And now we're done. So we can turn that off. And now we can seal it up. Okay, so this bin I'll limit to 5,000. Go to filtration medium and put sand. That way we'll have our ingredients close by. And let's make more storage for the refined metals. I hate when they suit up and come in here and do one thing and then immediately leave. Okay, we're ready to go. Let's start making some glass. So 100 kilograms of sand gives us 25 kilograms of glass. So I'm just going to queue up 99. I'm not sure exactly how much glass we'll need, but I expect it'll be more than just a few. That was it. That was the whole job there. Okay. So that's going. We'll be able to see the molten glass come out. Let's go to the automation overlay so we can see what happens. Oh, okay. Now I should be able to set the filter. There we go. Glass. Okay, now this has been in here for, well, at least I set it for 10 seconds, right? And we're at 3 times speed, so and the temperature now is 244 degrees. Still pretty hot. How long does one cycle take? That would be good to know. It doesn't say. Oh, please. Okay. I saw picked up glass. Did it come out? Let's look at our conveyor overlay. Contents empty. You know what? I think it's did I put conveyor rail all the way? Yeah, I must have. Otherwise it would be giving me an error. So why isn't it moving? Let's set it to a higher priority. Oh. It picks it up and then it becomes disabled. Now maybe once it can't pick up anymore, it'll deposit it. Let's see what happens. I'm assuming it can only hold so much, right? It's got 100 kilograms. 125. So I'm guessing that eventually it'll hold so much that it can't pick up anymore. The glass will stay on the plate, the signal will stay green, and then it'll deposit it. And if that's the case, then I might not even really need the delay. Let me Google this while that's running. How much material can an auto sweeper hold? Let me, what does this say? All inputs blocked. Well, yeah, they're blocked by water. Well, I'm not sure. It's holding 200 kilograms now. Let's give that a 6. It might be able to hold a lot, so we might have to wait a little bit. $225. Okay. It looks like it takes about 7 seconds for a cycle at 3 times speed, which would be, what, 21 seconds at normal speed? Or at least I think well, I don't know how fast speed is. I don't know if that's 3 times or more. I guess we could put it on real time. Because I'm just thinking that ideally we could set the filter gate to delay exactly as long as this cycle time is, or just a little bit shorter, so that way we get the most amount of heat transfer before it picks it up. But I don't want glass that's been sitting here for a while cooling and a piece of hot glass that just came out to be sitting there, because the auto sweeper won't know the difference. Okay, water's getting hotter. It's 88 degrees in there now. And the auto sweeper's picking up a lot. Let's see. How much material can an auto sweeper pick up? Maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Up to 1 ton per swing. Okay. So we're going to have to wait till this gets to 1,000 kilograms before it's going to do anything, I think. But we're getting close to an interesting temperature, so I think we'll watch it for a bit longer here. Yeah, we can see the average temperature of the glass that it's holding. It's still a couple hundred degrees. All right, we're starting to get some steam now. Yeah, so I think dumping it into a separate water tank is a good idea. Let's build some more insulation around this, since this is going to start to get warm. We'll want to keep that insulated. And if it starts to get too hot, then we can disable the forge. course, if I completely surround this with... if I completely surround this with insulated tile, then it's not gonna dissipate the heat either. So this is just gonna gradually heat up and heat up and heat up as long as I'm making glass. So I might need to run I might need to run some of this cooling loop through there as well. Okay, now soon this polluted water is going to turn into steam, and it's going to create dirt, and I'm praying that it doesn't leave a piece of dirt on top of that weight plate. Because if it does, yeah, there's dirt there. Son of a gun. Oh, okay, the dirt doesn't seem to trigger it. That's lucky. Oh no! What the... Where did the sand come from? Oh crap, that was blocking the glass. Oh, crud. Where the heck did sand come from? What happened to my automation wire? Huh. Did my wire melt? My wire must have melted. It's lead. Yeah, melting point 327. I melted my automation wire. Okay. Well, we're gonna make a mess now. Okay, yeah, let's disable this, please. And out comes all the steam, and yeah, now we got a mess. All right, let's mop all this up. And I hope I don't get too much water back in here so I can go in and mop that out too. Come on. Well, I can always drain it out the bottom, I suppose. All right, so I think what I would need to do is I probably just need to put pure water in here to prevent dirt from forming. All right, let's deconstruct these tiles so I can get back in there. Yeah, so I think what happened is, well, when the glass comes out, apparently it's creating local hotspots. All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, let's deconstruct that tile too. I'll just let everything drain out of there. It's gonna take a while to get all this liquid cleaned up. And that's all dripping down there, okay. And there's more and more steam. All right, yeah, let's just cancel this. We'll wait for all the steam to cool down. Let's see, copy settings there. Yeah, we'll clean this up in a little bit after all the steam finishes condensing. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be continuously mopping. Okay, so let's redo our automation wires. So I'm going to delete that one. All right. Yeah, so I think what happened is the glass came down. There was dirt there. The glass came down and heated up the dirt. The dirt turned to sand, and then my lead wires melted. Okay, so we'll make our automation wires out of steel as well. And that should prevent that problem from occurring. One hopes. Alright, let's mop all this up. And all this, I'm just going to wait until it stops dripping before I bother mopping. We'll let gravity do most of the work. Okay, are we good? Yes. Okay, we should be good. So let's sweep all this out. And this time... this time I am going to fill it... I'm just going to fill it up with clean water. Which is going to take a long time. Although I do have a clean water pipe here. Why am I getting so little? Ah, that's why I'm getting so little flow. Looks like I've gotten most of the clean water out of there. I might as well just turn that off now. Okay, so I won't really be able to tap into that pipe. Do we have any other clean water lines close by? Doesn't look like it. Alright, so we're going to have to do it the hard way. Let's mop this. Or deconstruct that, I mean. Okay. And we can seal this in now. We'll put a bottle emptier there. And one there. And this is gonna take a while because now we're gonna have to fill it completely with water. Without using that polluted water trick, because I don't want any dirt to form in there, because guaranteed it's going to form on top of that. Well, it didn't seem to be affecting the weight plate, but I think we may have just gotten lucky there. Okay, so we'll set this to water, and I'll give it a high priority so that we hopefully don't have to wait too long, but it's going to take a while to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, how many tiles is that? 7, so we're going to need 7 tons of water to fill that first layer, and then probably another ton or so to get that second layer to be occupied as well. And this thing is still holding on to 740 kilograms of glass. So we're getting close to being able to put it on the conveyor. All right, I'm gonna pause recording while we get the water in there. I'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. We've now got 2 layers of water in there. So it took, like I said, a ton of water in each of the bottom tiles and then just a little bit more on top. So we can seal this up now. And we can get back to work. So let's re-enable our forge. Okay, we got 20-degree water in there. So our glass is starting to cool down rapidly. And hopefully this will be trouble-free. Our steel automation wire melts at 2400 degrees, which is a much higher temperature than the glass will be. In fact, we can see... Alright, yeah, see there's the molten glass, 1700 degrees, so it's a lot, even a lot higher than I thought it was initially. And I want to see how cool it is by the time it gets here. Okay, so right there it's about 1600 degrees already. So you can see it cools down pretty quickly. You know, going from 1700 degrees down to 1500 or so, and we know it solidifies at about 1300. So that's why I wanted to keep that pipe short. Even though it's an insulated pipe, it cools down fairly quickly. Okay. Now we've got 815 kilograms, which is not an even multiple of 25, and I think I probably disabled the machine in the middle of a cycle or something. Let's turn on the automation grid so we can see what's happening there. Alright, so there it goes on the plate. Wait our 10 seconds. Actually, it looks like there's an animation there. Yeah. And then we get our green signal. Alright, so we're just hoping that once the auto sweeper gets full, that it will deposit its payload into the conveyor finally. Right, 3 more cycles. Come on. What a time to go to bed. I just want to see if this is going to work or not. After all this time, that would suck if it didn't work, huh? Now, if it doesn't work... Okay, this is it. Now it's got over 1,000 kilograms. Are you ever going to do what you're supposed to do? Okay. Well, I'll keep watching this. So if this doesn't work, then our other option would be to put it on the conveyor and run the conveyor through a little loop in this chamber to pre-cool it. Or I could get a little more fancy with the control circuit. We could turn it on after a delay, and then we could force it. Maybe we can force it, the green, to stay on long enough for it to pick it up and deposit. In fact, what if I put another filter gate right after it? So it turns green, it picks up, and then a few seconds later it turns green again, there's nothing on the plate, and then it deposits. I would have to open this thing up again. Let's try that. Yeah, let's try that before we end up with steam in here. Okay, so we'll deconstruct that tile. Let's disable this again. Okay, get that out of there. And we'll put another filter gate. And we'll put more automation wire made out of steel. Thankfully they can build it from up there. Okay, and the second one we can set, right, the first one is set to 10 seconds, so this one we can set to, yeah, we'll leave it at 5 seconds. Okay, and let's see what happens when we do that. Of course, it's bedtime again. Looks like our cool steam vent is active again, so hopefully we'll get some water coming back into there, into our little chiller. All right, back to work. There we go. There didn't seem to be much delay there at all. All right, let's make that one 10 seconds. I guess it's because they're both connected there. It's just bypassing the delay. Okay. Do we have a latch of any kind? I need a buffer gate. Okay. We're almost there. Okay, so buffer gate outputs a green signal if the input is receiving a green signal. Continue sending a green signal for an amount of buffer time after the input receives a red signal. And hopefully that's the same size and shape. Yep. Okay. And then I'm going to, well, I have to delete that bit of the wire. Okay. Sweep all that up. There we go. And connect there. So now what should happen is I'll get the green, I'll introduce my delay, And then I'll be able to tell it how long to stay green. Buffer time, 5 seconds. That should be good. All right, how hot is our water? All right, I have some time before I need to seal this up. There we go. Is that enough time? It's still holding on to some glass. All right, let's make this 10 seconds as well. Okay, and then it's coming up here. All right, it's, let's see, coming out of here, it is 170 degrees. So a little bit hotter than I would like. And then it'll come into the water there and cool down rather quickly. Okay, looks like it's all been deposited now. These guys take breaks way too often. Okay, there's glass. Yep, more than enough time. More than enough time, and it's fast enough to finish before the next bit of glass arrives. So I think we could consider extending our delay on the filter. Let's give it 15 seconds. That'll allow it to cool down even more. And then I'll shorten this one to 5. There we go. All right, let's see how hot it is when it comes out now. 249 degrees. Okay, let's push it a little further. Let's go. I really don't want to go any further than that, to be honest. Because then I'm going to risk having this thing active when a fresh piece of glass drops. It's probably about as long as we can afford to wait. No, we can give it a few more seconds. Let's try 20, and we'll just see what happens. Of course, it's going to work now because he left, but we'll have to see if it's fast enough for consecutive cycles. He's probably going to bed now. We'll never find out. How's our temperature in there? 42. We have a lot more liquid in here now than we did before. So I think that's why it's taking a lot longer to heat up. Okay. Yeah, we still have even more time. See, the temperature comes down pretty quick. But yeah, it's still 180. We could probably even give it a couple more seconds. And we could shorten this a little bit, probably. Yep. I don't want to make that any shorter than that. Okay. Well, it seems that we've got an operable system here for making glass. And that means we'll be able to build some solar panels up on the surface. Now, my only additional concern is how much heat we're going to be adding to this water tank. Okay. And am I getting any water from my steam vent yet? Nope. Oh, I think it did take some out already. Overpressure. Ah. Yeah. Look at all the steam in there. I've got over 5 kilograms of steam pressure, so my vent's not working. That's why I need to put that cooling system on there that I mentioned before. So we'll do that next, now that we got our glass sorted out. Yeah, it's going to take I think I'm going to finish making all this glass before I get any steam made here. The machine itself is starting to heat up a bit, so we could extend our cooling loop. Let's see, what do we make? That's igneous rock, okay. So what we can do here is we'll make some radiant pipe. In this case, I don't mind using lead. That'll help keep that machine a little bit cooler. There we go. And then I can delete those 2 pipes there. Okay, and that'll help cool this machine down a bit. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this whole system. Seems to work well. Yep, and it's getting warmer. It's up to 25°C. So the temperature here will continue to rise. Like I said, as long as we keep it below 70, that's fine. Because the gas coming out of the electrolyzer will come out at 70 degrees, no matter what temperature the water is, unless the water going in is hotter than 70 degrees, and then in that case the gases coming out will be hotter than 70 as well. Which means that the oxygen going into my base is going to start to heat up. So, so we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, I think eventually it will heat up to more than 70 degrees unless I add more water to it or do some cooling. So I may need to run part of my cooling loop through that water to help cool it down a little bit. It probably wouldn't take a whole lot to compensate for the heat from this glass. So, yeah. So I think I will do that, probably. How much is in my reservoir? Yeah, I still got 500 kilograms. I think if I extend my cooling loop that much, I'm probably going to have to add more polluted water to the reservoir. But that's no problem since I have a water line right here. It'll be easy to add more to it. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.